about to attempt to install the AEM V2 intake on my car. So what I've done, I have to label all the components so that I don't forget which ones they are. So this little wire right here, the black wire, is the vacuum line that feeds into this tube right over here. And then this is the breather hose that feeds into the engine. So I have to loosen this, then I have to disassemble the wiring harness, which is this right here, unplug it. So these are the three things that I do need to do first and label, so I can properly reinstall them when I have the AEM V2 intake on there. Alright, so this is video 1, and watch out for video 2. Alright, next we are going to remove this bolt and then take out the air filter. So we're going to take out the old air filter. For now, just kind of set that off to the side. And then next we're going to remove this bolt here so I can loosen the housing. Okay, so I'm going to move this right over by the windshield, right there. Okay. So then there's one more bolt right down there that I need to loosen. So next video I'll have the housing at least removed, and then we'll get to the actual hose itself. So now that I've removed those two bolts, I removed the housing for the filter. So there's the remaining hose and then the inlet hose. So I just need to take out the rest of this. Alright, so next I need to loosen the clamp that's right over here. So that you can see it. So I need to loosen up this clamp right here to loosen that, and then I need to disconnect the wiring harness over here. Let's disconnect that, and then we need to loosen all of these other hoses. So let's loosen this hose and then the next. So you'll see the next video, and then this won't be here anymore. Alright, so I disconnected the intake from the throttle body over here, and I had to disconnect a couple of tubes from the actual intake tube. So now it does not have an air intake, so on and so forth. So next we're going to install the new intake. Alright, so I have removed the front bumper of my car, and what we're going to do is we're going to take out the resonator box. There's one 10mm bolt there, and there's another 10mm bolt. I'm not sure if you can see it from right there, so we're going to remove that. Alright, so I've removed the resonator box from the bottom of the right headlight, and what we're going to do next is we're going to remove this bolt right here and then this bolt right here. Alright, so next part of the procedure, we've already removed the installation bracket that was here. We're going to save that for later. Now next we're going to remove this, and then we're going to tie this down to this wiring harness with this black zip tie provided from the kit. So next we'll see that later. Alright, so now that I removed the upper wiring harness here, and now I clamped it down to the lowering harness right over here, see the black clip? And that's where we need to do next. Okay, so next we're going to take the AEM V2 intake pipe. At the end we're going to install the rubber hose on this, and then we're going to take the two clamps that are provided in the kit, the 2.5 inch and the 2.7 inch clamp we're going to place on here. Alright, so after you've installed the rubber hose and the two clamps, we're going to set that down for a second, and we're going to take the rubber hosed liner from the packet down there, and we're going to line it along the side right over here so it doesn't scratch the intake when it's in there. Alright, so now that the rubber hosing is in there, now we're going to install the intake to the throttle body. Alright, so now that you've installed the AEM V2, do not tighten this, because what we're going to do next is we're going to adjust the pipe over here. So remember this thing that we took off from the resonator box? We're actually going to put in this screw right on top of here, and then it's going to fit snugly in like this, and then we're going to clamp it down. So we'll see that next. Alright, so now that it's securely stuck in place and we retightened the bolts here, I had to do some modifications because it didn't fit just right. Because I had to, what I did first is tighten this one, or not tighten, but screwing the bolt on this one, screwing the bolt at least a quarter of the way, so at least it's stuck there. And then I actually had to push down on this upper part and then just kind of put in the screw in there. But now it's secured in tightly. Now we can go ahead and tighten this now. Next we're going to do is we're going to re-plug in the vacuum hose. So we're going to take out the two little clamps and then this extra hose here. We're going to feed this hose right here into this slot right here. Alright, so now that we've installed the little rubber tube with the two clamps here, next is to install the actual intake itself, which I already did, and just kind of put this on here first before you put it on the intake tube itself. So then just kind of screw it until it's tight, and there we go. Now all we have to do is just reconnect everything else, put back the wiring harness, and then we're gonna take out all those ties there and reconnect the battery, and we're good to go. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and that was how to install the AEM V2 on your O2 Accord. Alright, so now that I've installed it, let's actually hear it. Actually, I have a butterfly valve to my exhaust, so let's actually close the pipe. Let's hear it. Let's do it halfway. All the way.
The fun and cigarettes and the song came out today, and waiting for the turn of your back.